Alright, welcome back, my porta potty pastries. At this point, I'm just stringing two words together in the hopes that they make any semblance of sense, and you're all very well aware of that by now. So, today I am essentially I'm done with these clusters for the time being. Yeah, because I already filled like an entire page. I've had two sessions of this, right? And I'm going to be practicing lines because I said I'm gonna intermingle practicing line quality and line work in the midst of like the actual warming up broken draw practices. Shilling for broken draw, I love you so much. um but yeah, like again, 25 drawings from imagination, check out his video. I'm just taking a bunch of those from that. But before we move on to drawing a reference object from a different angle and then rotating it, we are going to practice lines, because for those who watch my channel are probably well aware that my lines have a lot of they just lack confidence, quality, right? I think they're decently confident, actually, but they aren't as consistent as I would like them to be, so I'm purely just going to practice my lines. This is technically part of it, because I've already started, but this is purely to just section this area off. But even then, why not? And again, it's actually more difficult now that I have a fresh pen, because the ink is a lot more, how do you even describe it? The ink is a lot thicker, yeah, some shit like that. So getting these thin, fine lines that you see from these things I've already drawn were because the ink was already dying out, right? So the pressure was different, the amount of ink that was, what's it called, being transferred onto the page was different. But now this is completely fresh. So it's actually a really good practice. As you can see, I struggle with keeping line consistency from this angle, but I'm already trying to make a difference here. But yeah, practicing lines is very important. I think that's something most, at least for me, it's not just something that gets better through drawing, right? I do have to intentionally drill it every now and then. And the thing is, like, I know it's possible to get really thin, consistent lines on this pen, because I literally just watched a video by Dan Kumo. Sorry, not Dan Kumo. Also a really good artist, but Dong Ho Kim, another Korean artist. He's also part of SuperAni, just like Kim Jong-il was. And this was just like a reel on Instagram. That's the only use I have for Instagram, is just art. I have an art Instagram, which I won't ever make public, because I'm not going to be using Instagram as a platform. I'm sure that's shooting myself in the foot or whatever, but I don't want to be sucked into the fucking short form reel. Fuck that retarded ass game. Fuck that shit. I just want to be able to share my content. That's it. Right? And yes, Instagram is a place to share your content, but it's not the type of sharing I want to do. But yeah, like Dong Ho Kim, I can see like he's able to make lines like what's my best line here? A line like this, but at any point of using this pen, right? And like anywhere. So I know it's possible. It's just about intentional practice, right? And I'm gonna focus on my habit of just going over the line. Like if I make a mistake, just allow that line to be the mistake, right? It is possible to create really thin, consistent lines with this pen. And let it be known, I've already been using this pen for almost a year and a half now. I started October 2023. So what? October 2023, it's like October 6th or some shit, like mid-October. This is in the beginning of October, sometime around then. So it's November, so we have 1 year, that's last year, October. And then November, December, January, February, we're in March now. Yeah, a year and 5 months I've been practicing with this pen. And as you can see, my lines are still pretty garbaggio. But hey, I would like to think it's not because I am garbaggio, even though that's literally the title of this series, right? The warming up because I'm garbage. But it's because the pen is just difficult to use and requires a lot of intentional practice, which is literally what I'm doing right now. It's actually very therapeutic practicing on lines, right? And I'm just doing my best. And that's the whole thing. Like, I'm not succeeding, but I'm doing my best, right? Just keeping the lines as consistent as possible. It's very difficult. Anytime you see gaps, it's obviously because the pressure sensitivity is it consistent, right? I'm still figuring out how to keep it consistent. All right, let's take a little break. But yeah, practicing. Ooh, my back. Practicing lines is very fun. It's honestly something I should and want to do more often, whether or not it's being recorded. It's also a nice break from all the spatial reasoning that I do on a daily basis, right? And now actually, my video log, my backlog is really good. Like, I'm a week ahead now. Like, by the time you see this video, it'll already have been a week since I recorded it. Today is what, Wednesday, March 19th? Yeah, and you'll see this video on the 25th, on the 26th of March, right? So, and again, I'm basically, for the time being, because work has really died down, right? I have the opportunity to draw more. So I'm actually drawing 2 hours in a day right now, which feels amazing. I know everybody doesn't have that liberty, right? Some people can only do half an hour. Some people can only do 10 minutes. So I understand it's very lucky to be able to even draw for that long. But because I can, I'm actually, I'm really going to be ahead in terms of videos as well. And it's great. I get more opportunity to practice, which I don't know if it's objectively translates over to double the progress or whatever, but it feels good, and I continue to just do my best, and that's all that matters, right? But yeah, I'm going to not do any more of the ellipses for this time being. For the beginner roadmap, I've decided I'm going to get to the next part, right? I'll probably cycle through 3 things, let's say. So it'll be this form indication, and then 2 more things, and it'll be like a few days or a few hours for each thing, and then keep cycling through those until I feel comfortable with that, and then move on to the next thing, right? It's good to have variety, even with consistency. So again, we all know this is the fucking hardest angle for me to draw. See how at the tail end, the last 30% of this movement, how fucking wobbly my finger gets. And I actually love that this pen is so, like, the ink transfers so heavily. Really forces you to focus on the pen pressure and consistency. It's funny because you see these, you're like, how the fuck is he producing lines like this? Because every single type of line under every single circumstance is a new skill to practice. I think I've already stated my goal is to be able to draw every single type of line in every single circumstance. You see, it's much easier for me to do the opposite direction, because pulling down for my hand is a lot easier. Some people will be able to do this motion really easily, but maybe this, whatever. Like this is very difficult, right? Some sort of half circle, but brush pen is a very great humbling tool. You know, like Dong Ho Kim, he's an inspiration. He's an icon. Same with Kim Jong Gi. Anybody who can use a brush pen very well and create thin lines. The main material I'll be using for the Anamorphs manga when I do it will be the brush pen. So this is like my lifelong tool, you know? Okay, that line was consistent but very thick. Okay, that was a bit better, a little bit thinner. And of course, like, how often am I going to be drawing in an angle like this? Not often, but the thing is, if I can push out in a difficult angle like this, doing this will be a lot easier, right? It's about the difficulty curve that I focus on, and the more difficult, the better. That's why I think people who complain about art being difficult, and I have complained about things being difficult, but genuinely disliking the learning process of art, I think you either just have to learn to enjoy it or not, right? Or learn to accept it or not. Not everything will be amazing. We all know, or for those who have actually watched to a degree of consistency, know that I've had many days where I'm just like, oh my god, my head hurts, or what the fuck, I don't understand, or just being like, ah, today was not it. Hashtag. But here I am on this day being like, hey, it's actually amazing, right? You need to have that general positive attitude towards learning and art. And that's a failure on society, not you, don't worry. You've likely been raised to believe that everything is talent based, everything is natural ability based. Right, if you don't get it once, you'll never get it, all that fucking stupid shit. So, let this channel be proof over the next 40 to 50, 40 to 50, 4 to 5 decades, whatever, 40 to 50 years. Let this be proof for all the youngins, because if YouTube is still around and you're watching this shit from like 2040 or something, or even 2030s, let it be proof that you can start from nothing and still be really good. Because this is what most artists won't show you, but I will, which is the fact that I'm literally just practicing lines and they look like garbaggio. But yeah, that's the thing, right? Just want to keep focusing on the difficult lines. So let's honestly, I might just spend all of today practicing lines if it means I can fucking fill this shit up, to be honest, because it's gonna take time. I'm already 15 minutes in. I'm only done like 2 little things. So uh, Again, is it necessary to fucking draw like this and make a line like this? No, but I'm going to, because I know it'll help in the future. I always want to kind of feel like a beginner in a lot of ways. And maybe that sounds weird, but I like the fact that there's always something I struggle with. I noticed even Master Kim Jong-il had trouble with this angle, like pushing out this way, so he would always change it a little bit. But I will do what he couldn't, this angle. Because like I could easily just do this, right? Not easily, but I could just bring my hand down and push out like this, right? Actually, that probably makes more sense. But you see how hard this is? This last little stretch. Difficult. Cool. Again, the goal is to be able to, with the pen being as fresh as it is, be able to produce thin lines of that consistency, which is a challenge in and of itself, because look at that, I'm barely touching the paper, and it's fucking leaking that jism. So obviously this all requires, ooh, that was a good crack, immense focus. I just cracked this pinky. Don't worry. You don't have to worry about my safety. I would never crack anything but my pinky. The best thing about practicing lines is you get direct feedback. Like my fingers are like so shaky, right? So Andrew Huberman mentions in one of his skill learning podcasts, I believe is the main one, where he talks about proprioception. This is an incredible part, or an incredibly important part. But the first step of learning is like when you're just learning something, focus on proprioception, which means the placement of your body in relation to the space it occupies and how it moves within that space. Right? That is a sense we all have. We all have proprioception. I mean, most of us. Right? Some people are retarded and can't walk without just hitting something. I'm speaking about myself. That's why I'm an underdog, guys. This is why. I also do wonder if this is even a practice most artists do, right? Which is just practicing lines. I would assume so. Yeah, it's good. Like, this is literally what my lines used to look like in the beginning. And that's from this angle. Like, these angles that you see now, that's what they used to look like in the beginning. Let's do another of this, because again, I struggle with this, right? But let's make it more like that. Yeah, see? It's really bad. And that's really good. Take a little break. Ooh. That's better. Yeah, would you look at that? 20 minutes of just lines, right? Okay, let's try this angle. See, this is slightly better. That's the thing. If the ink was maybe 20% less in this pen in terms of how heavily it's transferred, I'd be able to produce lines like this, right? But this, again, is a great practice in pen pressure control. See, but that angle is clearly easier for me. Let's try this one. I'm sure many of you wonder why I keep holding my page. It's just because it slightly moves, which fucks with the line. I do that all the time. Oh. See, so that gap keeps happening, right? So I have to be aware of that. It's when my finger feels like this. Okay. Okay. Again, this type of angle. Maybe going a bit too fast. The lines are getting too thick in the middle. So clearly this angle is a lot easier for me to do, and specifically when I'm a bit further out, but when I'm closer, not so much, right? So let's go closer again. Oh yeah, I don't know if anybody's gonna be watching this, but if you know of Karl Kapinski, please, he has a GoFundMe. He got a stroke on the left side of his body, and he's essentially like, his drawings, his lines are like this again. For, you know, I can't even explain it well because I'm still kind of taken aback by what happened to him. But as an artist of his caliber, unfortunately, Karl Kapinski has suffered a stroke on the left side of his body. He is left-handed, and he's, to cover the medical costs, he's opened up a GoFundMe. So I would suggest, please search up Karl Kapinski GoFundMe, or maybe I'll put it in the description. If you are watching and it's like relevant, you know, the time period is relevant to what I'm talking about, please do donate even a couple dollars. But honestly, you know what's incredible is the fact that he's relearning art again, technically, but as a beginner, like in terms of like his mind muscle, like his hand coordination, and he's left-handed, right? That's extremely fucking painful and unfortunate. But he has the mind of a veteran. He sees through decades of experience, but he applies through the hands of a shaky beginner, right? Like this. So it's actually, and again, like his hands are not doing what they want to do, and he's talking about it in one of his latest reels, and not like reels, Instagram videos, whatever, where he's like, his hand isn't going where it wants him to, and it's fucked. And I'm just like, god damn, like I can basically relate, not to the level of having a stroke and need to come back to that, but just your hand not doing what you want it to do. Like he's going through that right now, but obviously to a much greater degree. So please, if the time period is relevant, at the very least, do check out his Instagram, what's been happening to him, and if you're able to, please do donate, right? I'm gonna probably send like at least $20 this weekend, right? Because, bro, like he's an inspiration. He's literally an icon. So but yeah, I'm not like a fucking spokesperson or a shill or anything, although I would love to be. Please pay me so I can make use of his illness for my own gains. But I'm just a fan who's touched by his work, and yeah, I just want the best for him. You know, he's an extreme inspiration of mine. Okay, so I'm able to make pretty clean line from this angle. See, so lines are like, see, lines like that are possible. It's a skill issue, guys. Definitely a skill issue. Okay, hoping my mic is still recording. I haven't been able to fucking track how many hours I've been putting into this mic at this point. It has roughly a 7 to 8 hour battery life. And now I record twice a day, so that's 2 hours a day. So I'm just gonna charge it to full today, and from that I'm gonna see. Well, that's way too thick. I mean, I like thick, but come on. Okay, so how can I account for that in my brush strokes? Yeah, that's one thing I've come to realize. It's literally always a skill issue. Look at that, that's a giant skill issue right there, right? That's why, honestly, every single one of you needs to stop using the word talent. You're just undermining what you're capable of and what your potential is. I think natural predisposition makes sense. Everybody has one towards something. We might go our entire lives not knowing what that natural predisposition is, but also every single one of us can literally just bypass it through learning effectively, which is why I do all these autistic gap effects and interleaving, spacing effect, right? Focusing, really visualizing the line I want. Yeah, every single one of us can learn effectively. Every single one of us. That's my unwavering belief through experience. That's the best I can say about it. I believe in every single one of you, and you should believe in yourself more than anything, right? I'm rooting for you. You should root for yourself even more. I'm just some random fucker on the internet being like, you can do it. So if my spasms don't make you feel confident, then nothing will. I'm sorry. Okay, let's try this line. Yeah, I really do hate that word, talent. It has destroyed the motivations of many. Affinity is fine, right? It's just the weight behind the word talent. It takes away all effort. It takes away all intention. It takes away everything. It literally just says hashtag genetics. And this is a Naruto, right? fucking Naruto pissed me off so much when they did that shit. He works so hard. Oh wait, no, he's just the fucking spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. He's just a fucking reincarnation of a god. That's why he's so good. Not because he worked his ass off, and that's not as if that was the message of the entire show. They did Rock Lee dirty as well. A lot of media and anime are like that in general. It's always about genetics. This person's just born better. And I think people love that shit too. Because we don't want to feel accountable. After learning art, especially after all the thing I've been doing to improve myself, I don't really care for media like that anymore. I really like hard work type content. Things that focus on learning, on trial and error, on failure being important. Like every single one of my art sessions are just failures upon failures. And that's why I show it, right? That's why I show my art progress. That's why I even decided to create this channel. It's like people need to know how much work goes into art, right? Look at this guy talking about how he's gonna become great and all that shit, create some Animorphs manga, be known as one of the best mangaka, blah blah blah, right? but I'm gonna do it or I'm going to die trying. It's as simple as that. There's really no in between. And when I do it, um, people will simply know where all of that came from. I just don't want any doubt or confusion, not doubt, confusion. I don't want any confusion as to how I achieve the skill I'm going to achieve. You know, what did you practice? What did you do? He must have been fucking born with it. Blah 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 blah. All that gay shit. Nope. Sorry. Just put in a shit ton of hours. Shit ton of very intentional hours. To the best of my ability. Right? That's also important to state. To the best of your ability. Let's get some tiny lines in here now. Okay, let's take a break. See, 40 minutes. 40 minutes, roughly. And this is what I've been able to output. Nothing very impressive whatsoever. But again, this is art, right? This is literally art. Maybe I should try some curves now as well. Perfect circles, or at least that's the goal. Allow all gaps to remain because that indicates where difficulties lie. Right? Differences in line weight, all that stuff. Now let's do what I said I would do, which is indicate the form. This is good because I can practice my spatial reasoning this way as well. And it's a double whammy because I can practice my spatial reasoning and my lines. Okay, something like that. Right, let's get one more line in here. Same thing here. Right? This is great for just understanding form as well. As you can see, my lines are mid at best. See, mess that up consistently. That's too thick. It's great because I get to think about this as a form rather than, if I fuck that up, just a bunch of lines. It's okay. This looks very flat because I ended up making it very flat at the end. Should have made it more spherical, but it's okay. Take a little break. Yeah, this is very fun. Okay. I mean, I guess I might as well just cut it off here. I have 15 minutes, so maybe I'll be able to just draw a bunch of spheres. Let's see. Well, I did say I wanted to practice just drawing those curves, right? So something like that, maybe. Basically, you have to imagine the sphere. That one's a bit off. Oh, clearly I struggle with this angle, so let's... Not bad for a first attempt, honestly. So let's keep going. We just have to imagine a sphere, right? Okay. Better wrapping around the form. Keep my lines clean as well. I should probably do that with my line practice from now on. Have an imaginary form and then just wrap the lines around it, like contour wrapping, right? It's pretty difficult when you try to imagine a perfect fucking sphere. Let's say it's like this over here, right? Oh, this one was a bit better. It was a bit better, yeah. Actually, we can always fit more lines in. Oh. Okay, let's leave that as that, and then I'll do a couple more here. I think that should hit my hour. Let's take a little break. Okay, cool. All right, let's see, more curves. Yeah. Because really all this is just part of an ellipse, right? That I'm just wrapping around a form. Kind of lost it at the end there because this line, but still, it's. Is my mic still on? Thank goodness. Oh, kind of losing it here. Yeah, even when it comes to creating lines, I've understood that visualizing is very important because you have to really know what type of line you want to make and where it's going to be going in order to convey it effectively, right? I wonder if what I'm saying right now is coming across as a murmur. Hopefully not. Okay, see, that kind of went to shit at the end, but it's cool. Let's do we'll do a couple more and then we'll go back to just practicing some normal lines. So again, imagine the ellipse or the sphere. That ended up being a bit shit. Kind of lost it at the end, which is expected, right? These are looking not so spherical, but hopefully with time, I mean most likely with time, more than anything, I'll get it right. Okay, I don't really have space to do anything else, so let's just practice some more lines. Can't tell if my lines are getting better or if I've just worn out and got rid of that excess ink, so they're coming across clear. Might be the latter, to be honest. I don't think I've improved to such a degree that suddenly my lines are just more consistent. It has to be because this excess ink is gone, because I'm putting the same amount of pressure, even though I'm trying to be conscious of it. Right? Nothing so drastic as a change in ability is going to occur over one session. It's going to occur over multiple sessions and with good rest. Okay, and then we can do Line consistency is definitely something I still struggle with, right? That's why brush pen is beautiful in terms of a challenge. Because if I switch to fine liner, no issues. Absolutely zero issues. I couldn't draw with the fine liner in the beginning. Once I switched to brush pen, fucking autistically practiced it for a year. Drawing with the fine liner was like, what the fuck? Because I couldn't apply proper pressure sensitivity with the fine liner either. I was either going too hard or too light. But when you are only practicing with a tool, it just purely depend on how much pressure you can put on it and to maintain it consistently. A fine liner it pales in comparison to that challenge. I want to do this angle again because clearly I struggled, right? So yeah, for me, a really big goal for this pen is extremely thin lines. Because my mentality is if I could do really thin lines with this pen at any point, then I should be able to. If you can control at the lowest possible threshold, you should be able to control at any threshold, right? Because at that point, I would have such a, in terms of just muscle memory, such a nuanced understanding of how much pressure to exert. They're doing something like, where it's just like thin to thick to thin, or thick to thin to thick. Isn't that difficult? At least I would think so. Right? Something like, my examples are never the best, but we'll see. Right? This is obviously going to be a different skill that I'll have to drill, but I feel as if the skill will be easier to come by if I can do the hardest part of it, in my opinion, which is actual thin lines, right? Sensitive, thin lines. What the fuck am I saying? Just the thin lines. Focusing on pressure sensitivity. So clearly I can do thin lines from this angle a bit better. Still, the consistency needs work. Right? So downward, always easy. Upward is always more difficult for me. Right? The pushing motion, not the pulling motion. But for some reason, this specific angle, where I'm holding the pen like this, and I'm going up and down, has been the easiest for me in terms of just ability to come by, right? But again, like this, pushing outward is a lot more difficult. It's been an hour. I'll go for another 10 minutes. I just want to fill up this bottom little area with lines. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna rush it. I'm just gonna keep focusing. See, a little gap there. That's fine. And then let's just I do like the analogy when it comes to the pen, the sword, right? That's what it's kind of prevalent in popular media, which is, the blank is the extension of the body, right? I think that can be applied to anything. And in my case, it's just about really visualizing that and feeling that the pen is an extension of my hand, right? This material I have to conceptualize as something that is as natural as just moving my fingers, you know? Okay, I think I should be done. That is a good practice. I mean, like for me, the biggest, I think I've said this before, but like the biggest thing is I always want to do so much more, but there's only so much time in the day, right? There's only so much I can practice within a given hour. I just have to really be intentional about what I end up practicing, right? See, even now, I just want to keep drawing these lines and practicing them. Because I know it's what's holding me back. I know my lines are the biggest thing holding me back. That's good. Honestly, if there wasn't anything holding me back, then there wouldn't be anything worth pursuing, right? I've actually really, really come to enjoy the journey of bettering my skill set. Because then what do I look back on? Just being good immediately? No. It's also about the mentality, right? There's joy and gratitude and satisfaction to be had from the effort. Hashtag growth mindset. Hashtag Andrew Huberman. Hashtag Carol Dweck. And whoever else is a prominent figure in the growth mindset space. I only know about a couple because I'm only exposed myself to a couple. Publicly, that is. Okay. Alright, cool. Well, thank you for accompanying me on this very this video in of itself I'm sure was very tame, right? I'm not doing anything really quote unquote special. I'm just drawing the lines and the circles and the curves that are supposed to form a circle, but they don't because I'm still working on it. Give me a break, god damn it. So thank you for watching. Yo, fuck, I need to stop fucking thanking my audience. What can I say instead of thank you for watching? Fuck you for watching. So as always, fuck you for watching. Keep drawing, and please give me money.